So, hi everyone. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. Today, I am doing episode 10 of Chatting with Peebs. Finally at 10. Been doing this a couple of months now, so yeah, episode 10. Let's go. So, just gonna. We can get chatting.
Hello.
Hello, I didn't know if I was doing it right.
Yeah, well, it's alarmingly simple, and then yeah, you're not sure whether it's going to happen, but here we are.
Technology. You know what I'm like with technology.
Well, I'm pretty much the same if I'm honest.
I honestly was like, do I need to Google this? No. Panic over.
Good,
Oh,
good. So, how are you?
you know what? I've been doing tea tasting all afternoon. So
Wow,
I'm hydrated, but like I was saying, I'm gonna have a drink and I've decided I think I'm done. Otherwise I'm gonna need to part halfway through the interview. So
that's absolutely fine. I'm having your cherry and almond strudel, so yeah,
I was
excited
gonna
about
ask this
that.
one.
Yes, so that was the decision for today. Though I do love your, is it spiced pumpkin pancakes?
Pumpkin
That's
spice pancakes.
yeah.
They
So
seem to be a good one for this time of year.
definitely, definitely. So before we kind of launch into things, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello. For anyone who doesn't know me, I am SaChasi. I don't know if that's like the wrong way around, but I couldn't figure out. I was trying to figure out how to like make this the right way around so everyone could see me. But yeah, I'm SaChasi. My actual name is Sasha, and I came up with this brand because, well, for many reasons. I'll probably let you ask me before I ramble on for like half an hour.
That's
So
that's fine. That's
yeah.
fine. So yeah, where did your tea journey begin before we get into how you started your company?
Okay, my tea journey began, I suppose, like many years ago. One of my first words was actually tea, but I said tar. So
Oh,
all the way back to when I was a little baby. So yeah, tea is obviously like one of those obsessive things. When I was a teenager, it was all about like green tea and being healthy. And then like I remember being at work and I'd always take a flask with me, but I'd be just disappointed at like, I like this. Oh, the machines are rubbish. You know what those machines at work are like,
yeah.
and you just, don't know if I want that. So a lot of it began with like just a bit of a, and I know it's because I wanted stuff for like vegan week and things like that, and a lot of things I liked had like bits of dairy in or it has sugar in. I thought there must be a way of having this without all of this, because who would have thought there was so much stuff that went in tea that actually could be not vegan or has those sugar in and artificial stuff. And I thought, oh, this is bugging me. So then that kind of the journey began with a frustration,
Okay.
effectively.
Is that how your company started then?
It wasn't even deliberate. Do you know that? It wasn't even deliberate. I started taking tea into work, and then people would be like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just threw some stuff together." It's a bit like when you're cooking or baking. It all just comes with a bit of an experiment. And time went on, and people would be like, what is this? And I'd be like, oh, well, it's like a sticky caramel slice. And, I just wanted to see if I could make that. And that was like the first one I really wanted to make. And they're like, I'll buy this off you. So I was like, well, there's an actual like thing, like maybe. So it was almost like a sideline for a while. Just, people that knew me until, yeah, it started to escalate, I suppose. It's been a long about a year of just doing that. So this time last year was just me playing around and then yeah, selling out like free samples to friends and be like, what do you think? So and then yeah.
And
it's,
here
it's
we are. And here we are. Absolutely. How did you decide on your name?
Right, so it began. I had another name initially because the teas themselves, they're beautifying, but they taste like desserts, which you've obviously probably seen on the packaging that they've got lots of exotic superfoods inside. And they're all, I thought, right, oh, I'll call them beauties. And then I started Googling and I thought, this is not a good name for my tea. So everyone has like some kind of beauty or something, so it would just fall by the wayside. And I came up with SaChasi with my mum. Actually, one night we sat by the table brainstorming this thing, going, I don't know what I'm meant to do, you know, coming up with a whole list of this is what it does, you know, this is what it appeals to, and how am I going to name this? Well, my name's Sasha, and Chasi also means tea master. So I effectively joined the two together to become SaChasi, Sasha the tea master.
Awesome.
It was like, and I thought no one else will have that. It's a nice little story. Your name's built for tea. The name is built for tea. This is like, yeah. So I've stuck with it. I've stuck with it now.
Brilliant. No, awesome. It's a good story to have, rather than just kind of having a name that you didn't really think about, or it just kind of was there in the beginning and you've stuck with it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
many drives I had up and down the road as well after going like, oh, do I stick with this name? And yeah, so I'm happy.
And now it's all over your packaging, so you can't go back now.
Oh God, can you imagine? I'm like, right, I'm gonna have to repackage another. Yeah, I'll see you guys in 5 weeks.
Yeah,
you know.
Gosh, could you imagine? Yeah. So so how do you source your tea then? Because it's all you're very health based and you're very conscious of that. How do you manage to source that without having all those kind of added negative things like additives and things?
So basically, everything I get, I make myself. So I'm sourcing from completely different places. So the teas themselves, they come from one company, and they are just all loosely, like premium quality, organic, loose leaf teas I can find. The superfoods, again, they're all organic, and I source them from somewhere else. Sometimes a few different companies. There are like obviously a lot of whole food places that do it, but because there's a multitude of stuff that goes in every single blend, the online is like the best thing, but it's taken a lot of research, and obviously I've been doing this for well over a year now, so I knew certain places that I trusted and I've used over and over now, so I'm quite happy. But yeah, they're a wide array of places, but they are English. They're all English companies. They're all like ethically sourced from the farmers that they work with. I trust them, and you can taste that there aren't any of the additives. When it came to the natural flavorings as well, that was a lot of research, because like you say, there are things that don't make them vegan, or they're not gluten free. Even like trying to look for things that are halal, like just going like right down to it, and I found a plant-based company. I thought, right, I'm trusting this. I want it pure, but I want it to taste as decadent as possible, because why should healthy tea be boring? There's so much.
Definitely. I don't think anyone could say that your tea was boring.
Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, not every single one's for like every person, but I just hated that idea that every single healthy tea out there literally had to just be lemongrass and ginger.
Yeah.
So I thought, I know how superfoods work, and I know that I can make it taste fun. So, and just evidence really that you don't have to use sugar. It's why do you need to?
Absolutely. When your daily sugar intake is quite like the recommended is quite low anyway, why would you want to add to that, really? Especially if you can get the same sweetness from natural ingredients.
Yeah, and that's the point, isn't it? As so many people, I think we look at things like and go, oh, that's vegan, or maybe that's boring, or maybe it doesn't taste right, but it can do. And if you just don't tell somebody and they taste it, they go, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, like, definitely. I've got you now. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, yeah, life can be pure, but still pretty naughty. So, yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's your teas are they are actually fantastic, and I think they match the desserts very well. How do you decide on what you're going to do next, and then how do you go through the blending process? Because it must be such a process.
It can be. Some of them more than others. I noticed with my mango ice cream that required a heck of a lot of sort of trial and error, shall we say, because a lot of them, they follow the same kind of process where I'll blend them up and then, you know, spray your leaves and get things done, you know, put the superfoods around everything, and then it's fine, good. No, not mango ice cream, no. Decided to just go sticky, and I was like, how am I going to get this? I had the dream in my head, and I wanted it to work so badly, so that was, you know, some of them like a bit more painstaking than others. But coming up with the inspiration for them, you know, we just, sometimes it's in a supermarket, you walk past, you know, like chocolate dip macaroons. I was in Morrison's and I saw Mrs. Crimble's and I thought, oh yeah, I wonder if I could do that.
With tea.
Or just like random conversations with people where they, you know, I say to them, you know, what do you like? Because some people don't like fruity stuff. They will, I know one of my friends, Simon, he was saying to me, oh, I like carrot cake, and you know, just it just comes into conversation. I think, I wonder if I could make one that's just a little less berry-fied or whatever. And again, then I start researching what other people have done, and I think, oh, they use nuts. Well, I don't want to use nuts. I want people to get that same satisfaction without having to think, oh, wonderful, this tea, oh, it's got nuts in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got. And so again, the journey goes through, well, what kind of flavors can I find out? You know, what superfoods may be out there that I can get that flavor with? So like mesquite powder has a natural nutty caramel flavor, and I thought, brilliant, let's try that. You know, so again, it's the stories is always like conversations or just general, you know, wandering around Morrison's by the sounds of things.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, it's a good place to get inspiration from, I suppose.
Seems it. I never really would have thought it, but until now.
Standing in the cake aisle.
I find myself being like, flapjack, you know, and instead of eating it, I make it into a tea. So there you go. Weird as that is.
No, that's brilliant. So what would you say is your most popular tea then?
Easy glazed cinnapple buns, hands down.
So good.
I had some earlier as well. I'm like, gosh. I don't drink my own tea very often, which is a bit surprising, purely because it's for everybody else. But on the occasion where you're like, well, I want a tea tasting, I best join in and, you know what I'm talking about and go, yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah.
This one I made from you. Oh, and yeah, so that seems to be that one. Spiced Jaffa Cakes is also a close second. People seem to like that one quite a lot. So black teas, I suppose, definitely very popular.
Okay, so
yeah.
So if you don't drink your own teas that often, what do you drink?
I drink well, T2. It's like sort of one of the places the other journey started, where with the loose leaf I went to T2. Bird and Blend. I do love Bird and Blend. I've had pretty much every single one of their teas over the years. Imperial Teas of Lincoln, because I'm not too far from Lincoln, so I like their stuff as well. I do get good tea. What else have I got in the cupboard? Do you know what? There's quite a lot in there.
Well, I know that feeling.
I know you do. It's probably worse. I've been trying to like cleanse it out, and I'm like, no.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's hard.
I'm sure I'll have a spring clean. I think that's maybe what it'll be.
A spring clean, but then you end up going, do I eat? I don't want to get rid of that one. I like that one. Oh, and then you forget you've had one that's like sat at the back of your cupboard, and then you look and go, oh yeah, oh, how about that now then? Yeah, I'll keep that.
And then you end up with a chain of that happening.
I try and pull them forward in the cupboard so that I know which ones need drinking first. You know, let's try and get through this. Then I'll want to replace it because I'll fall back.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it just gets worse from there. Definitely. Anyway, back to your tea. So what's your favourite tea that you offer?
Oh, out of what I have, I'll say glazed apple is definitely one of them. So it's out of each of them, because that's a black tea. So then currently my favourite white tea, because it's the only one, is White Forest Roulade. It's so nice and creamy. I honestly, I put lucuma in this, and it gives it a gorgeous, butterscotchy flavour with like that wraps around the cherries, and oh, so I made myself enough for that one. So that's one of my current favourites. Rooibos versions. Sugar speculoos biscuits is very nice, especially at this time of year, because it's like, does everyone know what a speculoos biscuit is?
No,
Because
I don't.
I know there you go. Some people are like, not a clue. It's a bit like a lotus biscuit, but I don't know if you've seen those windmill shaped biscuits that you get at sort of Christmas time. You always get them in the supermarket. That's a speculoos, like a Belgian cookie. It's like I say, it's kind of like a lotus biscuit, but a little bit more with the ginger spice coming through. I saw them again. That was at Aldi. I was walking
Love Aldi.
It was Aldi, but they had some these biscuits. And when I was in America, and I saw it, and I thought the same thing. I wonder if I can make that as a tea. So that really, really, I love that.
When you're blending the tea, do you have to eat a lot of the thing that you're trying to get to in order to get to the right flavour?
Sometimes, but not like a lot. I mean, I tend to sort of know what I'm going for. I look sometimes at recipes online as well, not for tea, but obviously for the actual physical product itself. And I will kind of average out the balance of, well, that's what it would be to make a cake. So I know the majority of this would be the tea. Oh, I'll put that much cinnamon in, or that much ginger, or whatever. It's more about the smell and the taste of the tea. So I end up just very, very well hydrated more than anything. Absolutely. I know what I'm kind of, but yeah.
Brill. So you just do dessert kind of flavoured teas. Was that always the case that you wanted to do that?
Yeah, I never wanted to be, not that this is a problem, like when people just sell the plain loose leaf, but in my personal opinion, I feel like it's a bit unfair to be like, oh, look, this one's, this, I don't know, wholesaler selling me lots of Ceylon black tea. I'm going to repackage it, do absolutely no effort with it, and then charge triple the price. Yeah. I'm not for that. Mine aren't about, relaxing. They're not about being just one thing. They're always going to be, dessert-inspired teas that have a healthy edge that can kind of prove to people that being healthy isn't being boring, and that they can nourish the skin, because I've had many skin problems over the years, and I wanted a way around that naturally, because what goes in shows what's on the out. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's becoming more and more important to people what they put in their bodies. So it's good that there are tea companies like yourself that do really care about that. Because there are a lot of tea companies who don't. And then when you see so many things on ingredients lists that just say flavouring, and then you go, but what does that mean? What's in that flavouring?
Exactly, and that's what I've had over the years. Most people, they read labels now, don't they?
Yeah.
And you look at it and think, ominous much. I don't know. And I don't like it when someone puts like a sparkly thing in and it's made with this E number and that E number. And although they're not all necessarily bad, it could be just vitamin C just to preserve it. But I just want to strip it back to the basics and, enjoy it in a completely natural way, and you just don't even realize it. So
definitely, no, I agree. So I wanted to mention very quickly your tea and read product on your website. Would you mind just chatting a little bit about that?
Okay, hold on. I've actually got the thing in front. Where is it? This is my little embarrassing thing. I don't know. It's a book I wrote. About 3 years ago now, and it's funny, you look back and you're like, I'd probably do it slightly differently. However, it's something that meant a lot to me at the time. I'd gone through a bit of a rut with a relationship I had, and my whole personality transformed. not in a positive way as a result. But when that ended, I made a conscious decision to just do all the things I didn't do when I was with him. And inevitably, certain things changed for me. And I met new people, I had amazing experiences. And although this isn't literally based on that, that inspiration made me go, I want to write something about that. And it inevitably turned into a book. So it's, the message is about, like, believe in your own independence. It's not always about, you know, what people expect you to do job-wise. You don't always have to stay in a relationship you're unhappy with. Being independent is okay. There's nothing wrong with being single. There's nothing wrong with sticking to what you believe in. Just believing in the journey that you're given, providing you actually have your passion for life. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have passion and decide to do something about it, to give back. So, yeah, she, you know, in the story, she's involved in her art, so I suppose it's kind of similar. I'm involving myself in my own creations, but you see the journey, you see how life can unfold if you just go with it.
Definitely. There's you obviously know this, so we're both part of the same book club, which is wonderful. But and you know that my favourite book is Brave New World. But in his second edition of Brave New World, Aldous Huxley does say something fantastic about rewriting editions, and he says that changing the story ultimately changes everything that you meant in that time. And that's exactly why he never changed anything, and it was just exactly the same. And I quite like that, because if you did it again, then it would ultimately change the story, because you're in a different place now.
Exactly. Mentally, I could never write this again. I sit here and I look at it sometimes and I go, I don't remember feeling that. You really do have to just write it in the moment. You can't force creativity. You've got to feel that passion and just go with it. And so, yeah, that's effectively what I did. And you know, he's right. Just, even if it's got bits in it that you think, oh dear, that's a bit cringe now. You know, I'm sure Brave New World is far less cringe than this, but, you know, I wouldn't change it. The message is exactly as I wanted it to come across as.
And what it needs to be.
So that,
definitely.
Exactly. And some people have been like, oh, it's been very beneficial, you know, just to, I remember one of my, someone I had at book club as well, she read it and she said, I left my job because of your book. And I was like, what?
Don't give me that responsibility.
No, I was like, whoa, take that away. But she said, no, I was unhappy and I was sticking to it because of what, like, I was socially expected to do. And instead I want to do what I believe is possible for me and go with where it is. And yeah, she's doing really well. So she's happy with her life now. And I'm like, wow, that kind of story inspired you to make a positive change, then, you know.
Then it's always good, no matter whether you have cringy sections or not.
It's all right. There's no sort of 50 Shadesness to it.
That's good.
But yeah, so that's the tea and read. Yeah.
No, good. But yeah, so that's also available on your website. So if anyone wants to have a look at that, please do go check it out. Yeah, so kind of, I guess, to the end of my questions now. It seems to have flown very quickly. Have you got anything exciting coming up? You've just released a new blend, haven't you?
Released two.
You've released two. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they came kind of quickly. So yeah, obviously I showed you the white forest roulade earlier, the white tea, and the chewy toffee popcorn. As I just wanted something toffee flavoured. And again, I haven't got a Gemma Chow, so I did do this one. I thought, I really want to see if I can capture that, because there's something about toffee as a flavour that is, you see the word and you go, ooh, toffee. And I just got very excited and was playing around with those as my two new flavours. But also, as a consequence, I wanted everyone to be able to see what was inside.
Absolutely.
Know, so look at this texture and actually see. It makes a difference, I think, when you can see it. You
Yes,
can fall in
yes.
love with it so much better. And
Yes,
yeah,
not that the old packaging is bad.
well, I'm keeping that one for the sample sizes. So everything that's on the sample size is going to stick with that look. But for distinction purposes, do you want me to quickly run through the distinction?
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Okay, right, as I don't want to take too much time, but yeah, so white teas are now going to have that top. So whenever you actually see all of these in a row, if you like, you'll know which one to reach for. It's just so much easier. The purple is because it's a luxe tea. So anything with purple means it's made with very potent ingredients. And so, for example, like the Wildberry tart's made with matcha and berries, and they're all very elite on the whole antioxidant level. They've all got something about them that is particularly special. Mango ice cream is going in it as well because it's made with mangosteen, which is incredible, for your skin. I should really put a few of them in there because some of them are just much more impressive than others. But yeah, it just depends what kind of thing I put in. Anyway, one. See, this is the oolong one, so it's a kind of teal color. It's very, very pretty color. I don't know what it is. Color. See it in Fortnum and Mason, don't you? Think, what a nice colour.
Yeah.
So that's like the oolong colours. We've got glazed apple buns. Here's glazed apple buns, and it has a nice new, lovely black part at the top. Put everything on the back so you can see that it's all handmade and all the best before. It's all there. God, I've got loads. Whee!
Well, that's good.
Anything that's a red bush tea, I just dropped one on the floor. My apologies, tea. You'll get the nice red at the top. If it's like a herbal, obviously a red bush is herbal, but this is more like honey bush or green version of the royal bush.
Right.
So I've got the yellow colour rather, and this is mint cacao creme. Oh, it smells so nice, that one. I've had way too much tea today, by the way. And lastly, for green tea, obviously, I put a green strip at the back just to make it easily distinctive.
Amazing. No, thank you for running through that. They're all brilliant. And I've tried quite a few of them, but there are definitely more that I need to try, but that will be in the future. But it will definitely happen.
Your tea cupboard is probably like, please, I'm going to break if you keep adding.
It's now in boxes on the floor. It's ridiculous.
Like you're moving out.
I know. Well, that's what it looks like, but it's just a ridiculous amount of tea. Yeah. So anyway, last but not least, how can people contact you?
Well, you can contact me all the time through Instagram. I'm always able to try and do that. And if I don't get back to you, then go on info@SaChasiblends.com. That's the email. You can either get that from the Instagram profile, you can go to the website, and there's a contact form on there as well. So all these just little ways. I will always get back to your emails.
Fantastic.
Easy.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for today. And yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here. So thanks very much. Yeah, this was episode 10, and yeah, brilliant. I'll talk to you soon.
You'll probably talk to me tonight.
Yeah, probably will. Absolutely right. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye.